it's Francesca from Consciousful Tarot. Thank you so much for tuning in to my YouTube channel and clicking on this video. If you're new to the channel, I'm Francesca. I'm a Clarisentient tarot reader and a level 2 Reiki healer. If you want any of my services, you can click on the link in the description below. Today I'm gonna be talking about a new celebrity reading. It's not a requested one, but I'm a huge fan of ASAP Rocky and I like Rihanna, so I'm doing a love reading on ASAP Rocky and Rihanna, and just to see what's their purpose together, how they feel, and what's gonna happen between them moving forward. Okay, you ready? Okay. Like, guys, I really like ASAP Rocky to the point where I even named my dog Rocky after him. But it was pretty cool the way that it happened, where like I was listening to Pandora and then ASAP Rocky's song came up at the same time as I was thinking what I should call my dog, and I just decided to call him Rocky because my dog was also born on the 5th, and the name Rocky has 5 letters, so that was a little bit random, but yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. Okay, so the purpose behind ASAP Rocky and Rihanna is that they do have a soul contract together. So I am seeing that they are soulmates. It's confirmed that they're soulmates, and I am seeing that their purpose is a Plutonian purpose. So they come potentially with past life baggage, I'm seeing. So they're meant to overcome power games. They're meant to actually transform each other's lives by being in each other's lives, to take action, to move forward away from addictions, obsessions, controlling dynamics. And this connection was meant to help them overcome like their unconscious nature and how to deal with society. But I do see that their connection has like some sort of corruption as well. Their connection can have some sort of corruption when it comes to secrets, occult, and power. But it does have a high sense of a sexual energy, and their finances and legalities and wills are also tied onto this. So there is external forces that have potentially cultivated this and manipulated their soul contract, but they're meant to overcome that. You see what I mean? So yeah, so I am seeing that in their connection they have a lot of tests, in the sense where there was meant to be a lot of competition here to kind of stop them from being together. So competition such as other people. For ASAP Rocky, it was other women. For Rihanna, it was other soulmates. So that was meant to kind of like be an obstacle in their soulmate connection, so they can take action towards this divine reality with each other. They were meant to build a legacy together. They were also meant to show each other's true colors to one another. So for a while, they could have worn like a facade to each other. They could have, potentially entertained other people and sacrificed this connection. So their lesson here is to overcome other people and to develop and harness a strong communication together to overcome the naysayers, right? To overcome the people that are trying to defeat them from being together. Even though they both have had other soulmates that were very strong, they were ultimately meant to be together and stay together. I am seeing that they're also meant to have a child together. So that's also in their contract, was to have a child, but it wasn't going to be like a child that easily comes into their lives. Like they were meant to go through the obstacles and the upheavals that they went through and other connections, because they were meant to have the child exactly when they had the child. So I am seeing that they do have a lifetime partnership, but this partnership is actually meant to help them renew themselves, help them go through self-evaluations and help them like abandon and abort an old sense of being, such as addictions, codependency, controlling ways of being possessed by other people and substances. So they're actually meant to help each other heal and help each other overcome laziness, debt, any sort of like feelings of insufficiencies, insecurities. But the main struggle and the main adversity here is literally their other people, competition. So needing to harness trust issues together in order for them to literally come out on the other side. So they're literally meant to also build an empire together, like literally a legacy to bring this to their child, but to also create change in people. So yes, they're celebrities, and yes, they're meant to achieve this level of recognition, but by them pursuing their romantic endeavor, they're actually doing their spiritual mission here. They're completing their spiritual mission. And by choosing each other, right, by choosing their heart, by staying together, they're actually completing a soul contract here. So let's go ahead and see how they both feel about each other. Okay, guys, so now I'm going to go ahead and elaborate how they are thinking and feeling about each other and what's going on between them. So this is insane. Seriously. So I like pre-shuffle just because I don't want to waste so much time on camera shuffling. But the way I shuffle is that my cards just come out. That's how I do it as well with my personal readings and on the hotlines. And you can't make this up, legit. So basically, remember how I was mentioning how their connection was meant to go through tests, and like they were meant to also go through like series where they're always supposed to choose each other. Right now, their relationship is being tested in the sense where the fact that Rihanna's pregnant, it's affecting the connection. And because it's requiring for ASAP Rocky to actually transform his life and change. So I'm going to first elaborate how Rihanna's thinking and feeling, then I'm going to go to ASAP. So the way Rihanna's thinking and feeling right now is that she's feeling a little bit frustrated in the sense where she feels a lot of pressure to potentially change her ways. So I see Rihanna like, not smoking weed anymore, not doing old things that she used to do. And the fact that ASAP is still doing it, it's triggering her a lot because she feels as though he's immature, he's not willing to change, he's very gullible, and he lacks ambition when it comes to potentially changing his ways. So right now she's like having a lot of like fear, but also a lot of frustration, and getting very triggered when it comes to maintaining this connection uplifted. She's getting very triggered by his potential addictions and by the powerlessness that she feels when it comes to potentially changing his ways. I also do see that Rihanna wants to move. She wants to relocate because the area that they're at may reinforce ASAP Rocky to indulge more in his old habits. She feels as though there's a lot of secrecy right now. So what she's doing is that she's trying to like kind of like numb the situation by like soul searching, but she's also in a lot of reflection right now. She's trying to find answers, I'm seeing, based off some sort of secrecy or some sort of corruption here that happened between them. So I am seeing that ASAP Rocky can be in denial of certain things that has happened in the recent past. And this has Rihanna kind of like emotional. It has her feeling a lot of resentment towards ASAP. And she's trying to remain positive. But I am seeing that this literally could have been like him going out. This is a scenario that I'm seeing. Like him going out, potentially over drinking. And then he could have overshared something with someone else, or was like flirting with someone else, and overshared his information about his relationship with Rihanna. And that really got her tight. That really got her like she feels like a victim, and she has a lot of anxiety because she feels kind of helpless in the situation when it comes to fixing him. And she doesn't want to micromanage him. But that's kind of what has happened here. Like I am seeing that there could have been some sort of deception and heartbreak. It was a shocking attack too, because it happened when she was like unaware. So she found out, there's some sort of information that she found out. She feels very frustrated and trapped right now because they are legally tied now, and she may want to move. Like I do see like she could have like literally like physically went away from him and the home when she found out about this. And And this has her feeling, you know, backed into a corner with her hands tied, kind of like helpless, because like she has information here I'm seeing. But she also wants to be in a space where she wants to trust him, where she wants to have faith and have the benefit of the doubt, like give him the benefit of the doubt that he's willing to change, you know, that he's willing to transform himself. Because, you know, she sees ASAP Rocky as someone that she, you know, she truly loves. She's very optimistic of the potential, but she's like thinking, okay, like she's thinking like, is it just the potential that I'm in love with, or is it the fact that like I know he can actually be this person? So I do see her, you know, trying to gain control over potentially helping him, but she's in love with him, I'm not gonna lie, and she wants this to be a reciprocal energy. She wants transparency, she wants trust. She doesn't want there to be any sort of mind games, but what she really knows is gonna help him is for him to overcome his addictions, overcome his dependency and his codependency on substances and an old lifestyle, and really walk away from that, because it's not going to benefit them in the future. And now Rihanna is like going into motherhood, so she's trying to remain positive and trying to be stress-free in order to have a good connection with her baby. So I am seeing the way that, but yeah, just to confirm, I wanted to show you guys. So there was sudden heartbreak here. And it was based off some sort of like friendship or conversation that she heard. So I have other cards here. I use tarot. I just don't want to show them. But right now they're going through a lot of turmoil and triggers and lessons. So part of the lessons, like I said, is for them to overcome the test, which is interferences, competition, and overcome their power struggles here. But it does seem as though right now Rihanna's kind of like running from the connection. She's trying to avoid fights, but she knows that this is a problem. Okay, so the way that ASAP Rocky is thinking and feeling about Rihanna is that he feels as though he needs to repair the connection here. He needs to be the one to work on the connection. He feels as though he has sabotaged the connection multiple times, to the point where if he continues to persist this, then the connection will be over. Like she could literally be giving him ultimatums as we speak. And he feels as though this connection is his wish fulfillment. He knows that he wants to be with her forever. They have secured their future together, and he wants them to be a family dynamic that is emotionally stable. Like he knows that this is the marriage that he wants to be in. He wants to, you know, officially marry her as well and transition into this new part of his life. And he knows that he's gonna have to balance out his life somehow. So they're soulmates. This says twin flames, but they're soulmates. But he knows he's gonna have to co-create with her, because he sees Rihanna as an empress. He sees Rihanna as obviously the mother of his child, but he sees her as someone that's, you know, very sensual, very sensitive, very connected to Mother Nature, and very beautiful and harmonic. And he knows that in order for him to stay with her, he's gonna have to change his ways. He's gonna have to create some sort of balance in his yin and yang energy and overcome the old level of consciousness that once kept him stuck to addictions, right? So he's trying to move away from this old lifestyle and kind of regain the emotional courage to actually transition into this new lifestyle. He knows he has to get more centered with himself. But right now, I am seeing that ASAP Rocky feels a lot of regret and disparity, because like I said, I do think that Rihanna has abandoned him for like a few days based off something that occurred, because it seems as though they had a conversation where they could have been verbally aggressive to each other, but it's due to a mistake that he made. So there was some sort of heartbreak, and now they're suffering through emotional instability. And based off everything that I'm seeing here, this was actually a divine intervention that happened. So ASAP Rocky can actually transform his life here. If not, he won't be able to remain with her. So he has to go through a rebirth here. So I am seeing that the evidence that was found was the fact that he could have met up with another female. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm not saying that 100% that he cheated on her, but it does seem as though that happened potentially, or he potentially overshared information. But it does seem like infidelity. Not gonna lie. And Rihanna has like receipts, like she has proof. There is some sort of proof that she has, but I do feel like she heard it from someone else. Overall, I am seeing that ASAP Rocky feels a little bit alone and crushed right now, a little bit heartbroken. He could have like also went on some sort of like hideaway and vacation, some sort of hideaway for like a day or two, and it just so happens that he could have potentially cheated on her during that time. And Rihanna found out because, like I said, this was a divine intervention. So she was meant to find out in order for there to be upheavals and triggers so they can overcome this lesson that they're meant to overcome, which is part of their divine journey together here. So right now, what's happening with ASAP Rocky is that he's trying to change his mindset. He's trying to go from immature to mature. He's trying to go from unstable to stable. He's trying to tame his impulses and his addiction. So I do potentially see him getting mental health help for his addiction. So he can be going to therapy. He can be potentially trying to get sober in the sense where he lets go of certain substances that make him do impulsive things or give him the tendency to want to, you know, potentially cheat on Rihanna. So this can potentially be alcohol. I'm seeing alcohol. I don't think he'll give up weed, but I am seeing that right now ASAP Rocky is at a point where he knows he needs to change his ways and he knows he needs to better himself because he wants to thrive in this connection with Rihanna. And overall, he's knowing that he needs to regain some sort of stability for himself. So he's seeing that he needs to change his beliefs about what he once wanted, who he once was. So I am seeing an identity change, an identity crisis, but it's leading to him going through a breakthrough, right? So sometimes you have to reach a breaking point in order to reach the breakthrough that actually helps you walk into that new reality for yourself. So I do see that ASAP Rocky is willing to make a lot of sacrifices when it comes to his old habits, but also when it comes to the way that he was. So I'm seeing him maturing the F up and really proving that to Rihanna, because Rihanna is not going to take any sort of disrespect or any sort of cheating, especially because he has addictions. Like, she's not going to allow his addictions to justify any sort of disrespect, right? So let's go ahead and see what's going to happen to them moving forward and in the future. Okay, guys, so now I'm going to go ahead and elaborate what's going to transpire between ASAP Rocky and Rihanna's future. So I am seeing them getting either openly or secretly married very soon, but before they even get to that, Rihanna wants to see changes because right now she's very pessimistic and a little bit apathetic of their future if he's gonna be loyal. But I do see, because I was hearing like them being in an open relationship, so that may be a case like they'll get married but they won't have like a conventional marriage, right? And it's because they have or ASAP Rocky majorly has an inability to move forward. He has repetitive negative patterns that are very resistant to change. He's very codependent on his lifestyle, right? His way of being, and he lacks direction, he lacks self-control, and he can get passive aggressive. And Rihanna, frankly, like, you know, Rihanna can be very rude and very very critical, and she doesn't want to get into altercations with him, you know what I mean? So I am seeing that they're gonna go in through many phases of healings. Many things are going to come in and out of this connection where they're gonna be able to adapt to the changes. They are going to remain loving each other, still trying to harness this connection, even though there may be interferences. The main thing that's always going to be affecting this connection is interferences and temptation, because that's part of their soul contract, is to overcome that. But ASAP will fail multiple times until he frankly overcomes this, Rihanna's gonna have a hard time to let go of the past. ASAP Rocky's gonna have a hard time growing up, right? He may have Peter Pan syndrome, where he's very manipulative, but just also extremely immature, unable to take accountability for his mistakes, very deceptive. And Rihanna is going to be focusing more on her self-worth. So I am seeing them both going through many lessons of introspection, reflecting on their wounds, you know, transcending their obstacles and entering new phases, but then digressing, entering new cycle, but then digressing, right? Overcoming their challenges, but then repeating them. So it's going to be like an insane loop, I am seeing, but they will get married. I am picking up it maybe very soon. Their situation will improve as they will improve their mindset. But yeah, ASAP Rocky will still remain in denial of many things. They're going to build this legacy together, create some sort of security here, as they already have, but to continue to grow together. But I am seeing it's not going to be permanent. It's going to be very unstable still. So they won't have a traditional marriage. Rihanna will also try to retaliate and give some sort of revenge to ASAP once she finds out that he's doing his thing. But they have unconditional, genuine love for each other. They're both very enchanted by each other, but the connection is constantly going to be bombarded with bad news of infidelity, of cheating, of gossip. And it's just going to require for Rihanna to not use the labels. Like, she's going to continue to, you know, raise the baby, continue to have the baby, and proceed with being a mother. But when it comes to them being in a traditional, conventional relationship, it's not going to work out, because he lies too much, you know, and he's very impulsive, and it's just not going to work out. Like, I am seeing that he will present many times where he's going to say he's changed, but in order for Rihanna to have peace, she's just going to, like, suggest for them not to have the label. Like, they may get married for legalities, right? Or because at that very moment when they do get married, they're going to be feeling like, okay, this feels right. Like, I adore you. We have this baby. We have this legacy together. Let's do it. But then there will be division, and there will be separation, and there will be heartbreak. So that's part of their karmic cycle together. That's part of the karma that they have to serve in this lifetime together. That's part of the lessons. That's part of them growing. And yeah, ultimately Rihanna is meant to stand up for herself in this connection, know her worth, not allow the frustration of the connection to ruin her mental peace. And ultimately, ASAP Rocky is meant to actually learn how to be emotionally intelligent and be very discerning, and use his morals and ethics and his mannerism in a connection here. So the main thing that's going to be in their future is, like, what do they constantly need to release? So, you know, third parties, old habits, addictions, in order to overcome any sort of frustrations or any sort of blockages in their life. But ultimately, this is true love. They do love each other, and that won't change, even though there will be ups and downs. Okay, my friends, so if you enjoyed the video and you want a personal reading for your love life, you can go to consciousfultarot.com. If you want a reading on career and finances or your spiritual life path, you can go to my website and book your reading, or you could also book a Reiki healing, as that will elevate your energy, remove blockages, and it could also clear out any blockages in your relationship as well. You can check me out on Instagram and TikTok. And for the upcoming celebrity videos, leave in the comments below which celebrity reading you want me to do next, and I'll do so. Bye, star friends.